everyone. I am Meg with She Through Tea, and I wanted to come on here today and just share a little bit about my 7-year journey in having my own business. I can't believe it has been 7 years of owning my own business and going on this journey of entrepreneurship. It has definitely been one of the most expansive and wild journeys that I would not trade it. Going back 7 years, I was working what I consider 9 to 5, working for somebody and their spa. So it was still in my field of healing arts, but I just found that for me, it just wasn't the path that I wanted to take. I felt throughout my life that just working a normal job just was not the route for me. And I want to preface that maybe some of you deeply resonate with having a 9 to 5 job and that works for you and that serves you. But for me, it just has not. I have been a woman of rebellion as I've discovered my own rhythm and my cyclical nature and really getting more in tune with nature. I felt this natural draw to begin on my own journey as a businesswoman. And to begin, I just knew that 7 years ago I didn't want to work for somebody else, so I took it upon me to go to Hawaii, Kauai, and just really give myself space to rest, to nourish my body, and to listen more deeply, and just tune into what my core values and desires were. And shortly after that, I put in my 2 weeks after a week of being on the island, as I just saw a vision for my life that I could not deny. And so if any of you have been following my journey from the very beginning, you know me as the Foot Fairy, and what the island, what the earth really brought me back to was this knowing that I was here. I am here to bring people back into their true nature, connected to the earth, and at that time, birthing the Foot Fairy, my mission was to connect people back with their bare feet in connection to the earth so that they could find their true power and purpose. And so I began that through walking on people. And then it transitioned to me just working on people's feet, doing foot massage, reflexology, which I still have a deep love and practice and service with foot massage, as it can connect us to our roots and provide deep healing. And And at this time when I was on the island, I knew that I wanted to start my YouTube channel. So my very first video was me doing the barefoot walking on people, foot massage. And I was also going through a healing crisis myself with my skin, having eczema on my body, and that was also a deep part of my journey to find my own purpose as I connected more to nature and really started deeply questioning what was for me, what am I here for, and how can I regenerate my life so that I can be in optimal service and wellness long term. And so going through this process at a younger age in my life, I have felt how grateful that I am to have gone through those challenges in my younger years so that I could come to my deeper purpose, connecting us all back to the root of why we're here. So I began as a foot fairy, and I had no idea how to begin my own business. I just put in my 2 weeks. I told myself I'm gonna work until I get to X amount in my bank account to have the security to begin my own business, and that's what I did. I actually took a few months off to really dive in to just having space for myself, and so I just came to the discovery just naturally, kind of blindly. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm doing it. And I feel like that's been a lot of my entrepreneur journey, is just having this spirit of courage to go forward in my own way and know that it's really about who I'm becoming through stepping into this endeavor in my life. And so I just remember, beginning to slowly unfold and discover what it means to be in business logistically. And I just started out with getting my own business cards, and that being my entry point into beginning doing business. And so that is what I did. And throughout the years, I have changed my business name 4 times now. And I know this won't be the case for everybody, but for me, I have just seen my vision evolving more and more. And over the years, the 7 years, that meant me changing my business name. So it went from the Foot Fairy being the focus of the name for me, and then it went to Deep Soul Healing, SOLE, connecting people to that deep healing through their feet. And then it transitioned to Soul Nourish. And for me at that time, I began really implementing more nourishment into my life, inviting tea as a medicine into my daily life, and therefore I just felt like it needed a shift to be more of a well-rounded, nourishing feeling to bring people into. And then I feel like it was a much bigger transition with Soul Nourish to She Through Tea. And for the first half, or for most of my business, it was a lot focused on me providing healing sessions for the feet and energy healing, and weaving in plants through that, herbal medicine. And then as I began to deepen in my cyclical nature as a woman, connecting to my cycle, my menstrual cycle, and living in that way, and inviting a tea practice, ceremonially getting to know the practice of tea, there was this deep shift in my life that I just knew that there was a more aligned and a more simple way of me doing business that felt harmonious and in balance with who I am. And this was a big shift in my identity as I began to drink tea more and more. It just started informing the way I lived in my everyday life, in connection to my cycle as a woman, and in connection to the season, and also going through a deep cycle of grief, through the loss of loved ones and the loss of relationship. And so I felt this deep descent down into more deeper meaning in my life, and that really needed to be reflected in my business and who I am here for. And so this kind of scared me in a way, because in the past I really wanted to be accommodating for everybody to receive my healing work. And then it began to really shift to working more with my cycle as a woman, and having a deeper love for working with women, and how needed the work of cyclical awareness, education, and nourishment truly is, as we come out of the suppression in our modern world of the feminine way. I really felt this deeper responsibility as a woman, and a woman connected to her womb and her cycles, that I would form a business in alignment with that. And so, yeah, it's a really special and really tender place in my heart that I get to share this devotional way of living with women, and not only women, but our humanity. And that this work through She Through Tea is really this path of devotion for women to walk in a way that is in alignment, in connection with her purpose, with her creativity, with the inner peace, and the feeling of deep richness throughout all of the cycle of life. And that we don't need to sacrifice our restful periods of time for success, and that we can form a way of living, but we are deeply supported by the practices that we have in our everyday life. We are deeply supported by nourishment, by community, and by, if you have a business, that you create the structure for yourself to receive in all phases of your cycle. So for me, this has been a death process of really honoring my business transitioning and transforming into being in service mostly to the woman of season who is here to walk in her own way and create a sustainable lifestyle that can bring vitality to the everyday life, and so that the mundane tasks become enjoyable and the hard things in life become a little more easeful, and that we can find our still point, our center amongst the chaos, and always return back to our true nature. So my business has really expanded to the online space, which I've really been loving, how I can reach more women and connect with women I may have never met through these spaces, and create programs for women that can return us to living life in ritual, living life in womanhood, in connection to every season, and just cultivating a more slow way of living has really been my priority and my focus. So working a 9 to 5 never worked for me, because I know that my pace is a lot more slow, and when I let go of shame around that and knowing that that's actually my gift and service to the world, then I've been able to create structures that really support my life and my business to grow as a cyclical being. So whenever I go throughout all my phases in my cycle and have different energy levels due to the hormone fluctuations, I now have a system that I can trust and lean into through business that supports different aspects of my business. So having structures in place, built out, so that as I cycle and flow, that I don't have to sacrifice resting over productivity, and that just the way that my business expresses, or I express through my business, that shifts over the cycle, and that something that I've realized is that as a menstruating woman, I feel like in this modern world, there's not much room in the workplace to take days off of work and being expected to show up in a certain way. But the mindset that I have really worked on is that I don't have to choose between my days of rest and having that security within work and money, and that it can actually be this beautiful balance of when I'm resting, I can tend to certain things in my business that wouldn't otherwise be tended to. And it's just a matter of really having systems in place to support all of my energy levels. So if you are a woman and you have your own business, I highly suggest creating structures that support every season of your life. So in the upcoming mastermind that I am having, called the Matcha Mastermind. Matcha, what is the similarity between matcha and business? Matcha has taught me to remain focused and to have that clarity in my mind, to know where to direct my energy to what I want to create. So in this upcoming Matcha Mastermind, we begin July 8th, and I'm so excited to bring more heart-led businesswomen who are ready to devote themselves to every season in business and know that it's this long-term devotion, and that matcha as our medicine, as our devotion, can help us remain focused. And we will be meeting bi-weekly and sharing what's working, sharing the structures we have, and creating a bi-weekly list of what we want to tend to in our business, and many different ways we're going to tune into the vision and the mission and remain rooted in that while expanding in the fluidity of our business and the expression of it, and how we can do it in a way that aligns with our unique soul, and see what other women are doing, and really find this way, this sweet balance within being a woman in business, where we can remain soft in our feminine nature while having structures in place that deeply support us for the long term. So I'm super excited. If you would like to join us, I will put the link down below. You get a month in not a month, you get a year in our online tea house, a place where I am continually feeding into every month, where we meet live for tea ceremony for sisterhood. And the mastermind will be 3 months for summertime, the peak of summertime. So if you are a woman in business and would like to join us, again, I'll put that in the link in the comments. And if you don't have your own business but would love to just begin living more cyclically and forming a tea practice and connecting with other women who are living cyclically, I will put my website membership down below so that you can join us for 3 months to a year. And thank you so much for tuning in. It's been such a journey, and where this whole YouTube channel began was that choice and desire to begin my own business and really expressing my creativity in a way that really fueled me and brought me joy. And so I'm just grateful to continue to share the evolution of where I've been, where I am now, and yeah, saying hi to everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.